Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 13. At the end of episode 12, we were in the skeleton farm, but between then, I've wandered back over to main base and dumped a couple of items. I still need to finish dumping some stuff, which I'm going to do now while I explain my plans for this episode. Obviously, the main plan is actually finish off the skeleton farm. We're nearly there. It's now functioning. I've just got to make it pretty, which is not necessarily easy, but not necessarily all too difficult either. Ow. Bollocks. Okay. You know what? This is also that. Yeah, that can just go and sit in there. We're running out of room. It can be dumped in there. Now I do need ladders. I think I needed more dark. I needed oak logs and more dark oak planks. So we'll grab all of that. I feel as though I'm going to need a few more ladders than that. So we'll grab, yeah. And then that axe is about to break. So I'll make another one, and it will actually be a nice one because we're back at base and we can. Just gonna throw that in there. Okay. So I need oak trees, and then we'll be good to go. I put in some lanterns for a light source because they tend to look nicer than torches. You can make torches look nice, but lanterns just generally look nicer. And I also put some carpet on top of the hoppers that are in the kill chamber directly to keep any experience orbs from getting trapped inside the hoppers. I also then put in a little sofa of some kind made from spruce oak wood. Very comfy, I know. And then I also create some banners, which I will eventually use to create cushions. I put in some spruce trapdoors to act as a little banister, and I also start laying out where I'm going to be putting in a couple of tables. Not that any of this is necessary for the farm to be functioning. At this point, this is all just me wanting to add some more detail. Just to make the farm nicer to be in. Flower pots, which I do eventually fill with azalea bushes, azalea saplings, because they look really pretty and they add a nice bit of color. As you can see, I test the farm a little bit. It works wonderfully. What I do realize is that the moss at the back can be broken, so I replace that with stone. Start digging out the area for the, I guess, above ground little building that is going to house the entrance to the farm. And while that isn't necessary to get the farm up and running, it is so helpful just having it there. It just keeps the farm a little bit more protected, so nothing like a creeper can't fall down inside. It also gives you a place to put a bed. So if you get outside and it is nighttime, you can easily skip it if you don't want to deal with it. And it also acts in a similar way to El Pigo's little house. It acts as a very nice indicator that that's where the entrance to the farm is. It's there. In terms of block palette, I again, just like El Pigo's house, I use what I had on me. I use dark oak logs, cobble and andesite, and oak wood. I also go down and put glowstone so that I can put the banners in, because if you don't put glowstone, then the banners appear dark, because they have no lighting. table on the inside with an azalea bush. To up, add a little bit of a partition between where the bed is and the elevators. And I also add a little awning on the outside. Awning sounds kind of like the right word, but I'm not certain it is. Okay, so I think that at long last, again, as usual, there's no doubt that I will come back into a second pass of detailing because that wall is incredibly flat. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit more detailing now as I'm talking. That at the very least helps make the wall a bit less flat. And no doubt this side's suffering. Yeah, it looks like it's got a widow's peak. Okay, but yes, so I think I'm at a point where I'm relatively happy with the detailing. Again, a second pass is no doubt going to happen. The upstairs area really just needed a room for a bed and just an area to protect you as you're going up and down. But if we head down here and we pop out, again, more detailing is no doubt going to happen, like putting a clock on a wall and stuff. But for now, we've got a couple of tables for stuff, little crafting table down here, a nice comfy seat to wait while we're waiting for all of the skeletons to drop down, and we've got a 5-chest storage. Now, I'm going to need to take a couple of minutes to get that storage sorted out. And then we are going to get started on the apiary, I think. I'm just gonna call it the apiary because I have no other clue what to call it. So what I will do is I will bring you guys back once I've got all of that, all of the items shifted back to main base. Okay, so I finished getting everything transferred over from the skeleton farm, and now I need to get a lot more oak logs, like a lot more oak logs. So, and I'm also going to put it here, so I'm just going to real quickly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's push it back a little bit. Let's push it back to here. Okay. Because that way it's not directly in front of the bridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. And the 19 and the 11 are where the pillars are going to go. That's not where the wall is. The wall is going to be one in. So now that I've got that laid out, I'm going to go grab some dirt and we are going to start building this thing. The design that I'm using for the bee, I still don't know what to call it, bee house, bee hut, bee place. It's a design that I've used before on an old world, and I've just expanded each side by 2 blocks just to make it a little bit bigger, because with the original design the farm wasn't automated. With this design the farm is automated, and oh my god, does that make it like so much easier to use. Genuinely. But what I end up doing here is end up making the framework, and I use dark oak logs, and I do eventually strip them. then add, again, with this is me following the old design, I put in some more central pillars, and then I build up the framework that will form the archways that are on the roof. If the screen ever pauses for a time like that, don't worry, your computer's not frozen, everything's going fine. I just had to tab out to check the screenshots. Because again, I haven't made this I haven't made this in a while. And I did forget a few things and I had to go and check. And I also had to adapt a few things because, like I said, this is bigger than the old one. So I had to change the archway a little bit to make sure it fit. Palette-wise, I don't even remember why I originally chose it. I think I just liked how the stripped oak and dark oak worked together and created a nice contrast, not only with themselves, but also with the light grey stained panes and the deep slate that are also present in the build. I do use, as you've seen, I've been using dark oak fence gates to add a little bit of detail in the form of a generic supporting pillar. They're present both on the roof, and there is one that runs through the entire center of the inside of the greenhouse, and I do eventually use it to hang some azalea leaves from, because something that I figured out back when I first was making this, bees can pollinate from the flowering azalea leaves, which is really cool. So, you know, make sure to add a few of them in there if you want, because they will work. Now, what I do eventually do with the fence gate supporting pillar thing on the inside is I add in a few dark oak fences, because you cannot hang lanterns. Well, lanterns don't look good if they're hung from fence gates because they don't actually properly connect. So by adding in a few fences here and there, it looks natural, but it also gives a nice place for you to put in the lanterns. I could probably add some grass in there, but I quite like just the full moss feel. I was going to add some moss layers, but I actually ended up just covering any of the floor space that was a free block. I just covered that with flowers. Now here I do start going about making the redstone parts that I'm going to need for the automatic bee farms. Now, the way that they work is you take, normally, if you want to harvest something from a beehive, you need to put a campfire underneath it to smoke the bees, to make them calm. It's logical mechanic. But when you get a machine to do it for you, you don't have to worry about the campfires. So what you do is you want a hopper, you want a dispenser, you want some sort of block, you want some redstone, and you want an observer. As you will see, you will put the beehive flat on the ground with the dispenser behind it. In the dispenser, you will put either shears if you want honeycomb, or bottles if you want bottles of honey. You put a couple of hoppers directly in front, but on the level below the beehives. You then put some blocks on top of the dispensers. You put the observers facing down, facing the hive blocks, on top of the hive blocks, and then you put redstone on top of all of that. And that way, when the way an observer works is when it detects a block update, it gives a redstone signal. So when the hive block updates to being a full hive, it will give a redstone signal. The redstone will transmit across it and the block behind it, which will give a redstone signal to the dispenser. So the dispenser will activate, which will either shear or bottle some honey. The bottle will get thrown out of the dispenser because it doesn't have a place to fit, and the shears would cause the honeycombs to fly out as well because, again, no place for them to go. So they go in the hoppers, and you can have that run into a little chest. It's very smart. You'll see that get built in a second. But what I then do is, as I mentioned before, I go in and put some azalea leaves all around the place. I just like how they look, man. I don't know. I think they're pretty. I'm so glad that we actually have flowering leaves. Like, you can do so much with them. And they're like a pinky purple as well, so they're a nice color. Put the hoppers directly below the hives. I completely forgot about that. I could have sworn that you didn't. I could have sworn that they went... Okay, so an amendment to be made to that diagram. The hoppers actually go directly underneath the beehive. For whatever reason, I thought they went in front. No, I originally used note blocks because for whatever reason, I thought, oh, they'll give a little noise. They don't, because there's a block on top of them, so of course they're not going to. So I eventually do just replace it with wool, because I'll just go in and check every now and again. Now by this point we have 5 hives, however I eventually am able to fit 14 hives total. So we still, even now, we still have to breed a lot of those bees in order to, because it's 3 bees per hive. We've got 14 hives, so that's 42. So we need 42 bees in there to have every hive operating at maximum capacity. I think we're at like 12. So we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Make a lot more hoppers, because for whatever reason I decided that it would be a good idea to try and connect all of the hoppers up to a single chest in the house. I do eventually realize how unnecessary of an idea that is, don't worry, I don't go through with it, but it does mean we have a rather large amount of hoppers now, which is useful because you need them in pretty much any farm. They're just sort of sitting there right now because I don't have any plans to make another farm for a couple more episodes because I'm a little bit redstoned out. So, after much deliberation on what type of storage system to use for the honey and the hive stuff, with it flip-flopping between a massively long, complicated hopper tunnel that leads into the basement, and I have a little light that indicates when there's stuff in the chest. I personally really like that idea. Practically not as viable as I had hoped. But now all that I've got left to do is I'm just going to put in a few more flowers, and then we're going to get the beehives placed. And every single bee that comes out, we are going to breed. Give them a nice flower and let them get busy. Because we need as many bees as possible. Now, actually, I'm also going to go get some glow lichen. Because I keep forgetting to add, like, glow lichen and stuff like that. So, yeah, I thought I'd bring you guys back now because it's been quite a while. I mean, it was literally a jump from the finishing off the skeleton farm to the bees. So I figured, nice bit of talking would be nice. And going at a regular pace would be also quite nice. Actually, I'm going to do the roof first. Now, I don't have to worry about the roof as much, because the majority of it is glass. So as long as I have, like, I don't even need it there. Like, as long as, like, these parts of the roof have a little bit on them. Oh, I'm going to run out, aren't I? Yep. Okay, well, that's fine. We won't have them inside then for now. Got all of them. And we got all of that. Okay, cool. So yes, I'm just going to quickly add in a few extra flowers here and there where I see a spot. Just to help the, because the bees, bless their hearts, aren't necessarily the, if you've ever tried to move bees around, yeah, they are a pain in the ass. But we do need the honey, so it's worthwhile. It's worth doing. Another tulip in there. Okay. So now I need these. And then we need bees. Okay. So I have not filled that with shears or glass bottles. I just realized. Okay. I'm going to go do that now. So I need to make a whole bunch of glass bottles and shears, and I'll bring you guys back once I've done that. Okie dokie. So, I ended up pushing these ones back a little bit, and I've decided this side will be shears, this side will be, bottles. So we're not going to get any bottles for now, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because I don't exactly have a massive need for... Hello, everyone. Right, you two breed. I don't quite know if you actually had one in you. Please get out from under there. Please get out from under there. See, this is what I mean. It can be rather... Aha! Come here. I breed you. Who's the... Which... Right, you need to be bred, and you in there. And that's already worked, and we've already got some honeycomb. Look at that. Is there an adult that still hasn't yet? No. I think we're all beat up. But we already have some honeycombs, so I can... Wow, that's works perfectly, actually. Wow. Honestly, didn't expect it to work that well. I'm going to immediately turn that into a beehive, and I'm going to run up and go put that in. Or am I? What's 9 times 2? Oh, actually, I'll make 9 shears real quick. So that I can fill up that chest. But yeah, as you can see by the lack of iron, I am going to need to do another mining trip. But I think we'll call it there for episode 13. We've got a lot done today. We got a lot done today. 1, 2, 3. But I do want to, wow. Incredible. But like, So yeah, so I think we're going to call it there, for episode 13. We have got the bee house done, and we finished off the skeleton spawner, which was really good. Next episode, I'm going to continue work on the enchantment room. I really want to try and get that done. So that's definitely, target number 1 for next episode. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.